Hello again, everyone. Welcome to Washington Gun Law TV. I am Washington Gun Law President William Kirk. Thanks for joining us. We're coming to you from our central Washington location here in beautiful Cle Elum, Washington. But I got to talk about some more shenanigans going on in the state of Illinois. And I got to tell you, Illinois, when you guys go to strip your citizens of constitutional rights, you guys do not screw around, okay? This has been one of the most adversarial, drag down, knockout, kicking, fighting, screaming battles I have ever seen. Now, for those of us in the Second Amendment community, what is the ultimate doomsday scenario? The ultimate doomsday scenario is that state officials, government officials, are going to start coming door to door someday and rounding up your firearms. But that would never, ever happen in the United States of America, would it? Well, it could, in fact, actually happen in Illinois because, yes, believe it or not, state government is actually talking about doing exactly that based upon some anomalies that occurred this past week due to the injunction. So let's spend a few minutes today, very troubling updates here, and let's talk about when a state actually starts talking about confiscating firearms. Okay, so the issue we're talking about yet again today is Illinois' assault weapon ban and the on-again, off-again, on-again, off-again injunction that is going on. Now, as we know, a week ago Friday, Judge Stephen McGlynn out of the Southern District of Illinois issued a statewide injunction which enjoined the enforcement of the Protect Illinois Communities Act, okay? Basically, Illinois' assault weapon ban. This led to a 6-day Freedom Week, if you would, where everybody in Illinois who had not had an opportunity to prepare for this legislation coming into effect the first time due to its rapid-fire nature that it was enacted, immediately ran out and started purchasing what was otherwise banned weapons. And everybody in Illinois got to enjoy the benefits of their freedom, except, of course, for Rob Beavis and all the citizens in Naperville, as talked about in this particular video. Now, we did have a chance to talk to the good folks at GAT Guns out there in East Dundee, and they were telling us that these things were flying off the shelf. Now, under Illinois law, there is a 72-hour waiting period, which means from the time you fill out your 4473, you have to wait a minimum of 72 hours before you can receive the firearm or lower receiver. Many individuals got in there right away on Friday with word that the injunction had been issued and likely got their firearm delivered to them before the injunction was stayed. Because as we know, Thursday afternoon, just a few days ago, Judge Frank Eastbrook of the 7th Circuit stayed the injunction, which means the Illinois assault weapon ban is back in full effect while the 7th Circuit figures this out. Now, I'm not particularly thrilled with the 7th Circuit getting a chance to decide this because let us remember that under the case of Beavis versus City of Naperville, a case that we talked about with Mr. Beavis directly on this video right here, the 7th Circuit denied an injunction on City of Naperville's ordinance. So why do we believe that they're suddenly going to grant an injunction here? But that is not the big concern. The big concern is all of the individuals who went out this past week and purchased a semi-automatic rifle or otherwise what's defined now by Illinois as an unlawful assault weapon. Because you see, the Illinois State Police is saying that all of you, whether you took possession of it during the injunction or you only did your paperwork during the injunction, if you are in receipt of a firearm, you are breaking the law, and effective January 1st, 2024, they want to start rounding these guns up. Don't believe me? Take a look at this letter that was written by the Illinois State Police in regards to questions from an FFL about what happens to the firearms that were sold during the course of this injunction, and pay very careful attention to what this letter says. In consultation with the Illinois Attorney General's office, if the purchase of a firearm or firearm attachment banned under PICA was initiated but not completed between the date of the Southern District of Illinois' order on April 28, 2023, until the stay of such order by the U.S. Appellate Court on May 4, 2023, the delivery of such weapon would be unlawful pursuant to 720 ILCS 524-19B. So what they're saying there is that if you've completed the paperwork in the time of the injunction, but the delivery of that firearm cannot be completed until after that injunction has been stayed. You cannot receive that firearm. You and the gun store would be in violation of Illinois law. But you see, it gets worse than that. What about the people who actually did get all their paperwork and did take delivery of the firearm, all while the injunction was still in effect? They should be good, right? Au contraire, because according to the Illinois State Police, there's a problem with that one as well. This is what they're saying. If the purchase of a firearm or firearm attachment banned under PICA was initiated and completed between the date of the Southern District of Illinois' order on April 28, 2023, until the stay of such order by the U.S. Appellate Court on May 4, 2023, the possession of such weapon will be unlawful beginning January 1st, 2024, pursuant to 720 ILCS 524-19C. Persons who possess a banned firearm or firearm attachment are required to endorse an affidavit by January 1st, 2024, stating that any banned firearm or firearm attachments were possessed prior to the enactment of PICA, which was January 10th, 2023. So here's the rub, Illinois, is effective January 1st, 2024, under your Protect Illinois Community Act, you have to sign a declaration under penalty of perjury saying that any banned item that you currently own was in your possession prior to the enactment of PICA, which means any of you who went out, enjoyed your freedoms, and purchased a firearm last week will not be able to sign that declaration under penalty of perjury in a lawful fashion. The state of Illinois is saying that those firearms are unlawfully possessed, and effective January 1st, 2024, you either surrender them or you're in trouble with the law, and there is a possibility that the state of Illinois may want to go out and round up those firearms. Folks, things could get real noisy in Illinois come January 1st of 2024. Now, as we know, Justice Comey Barrett has thrown her hat into the ring as it relates to the city of Naperville matter. And now that we have a state talking about actually doing gun confiscation, and we have all these varying opinions about the constitutionality of these bans and whether or not they should even be enjoined, it is pretty obvious that the United States Supreme Court is going to have to take control of this situation and decide this issue once and for all, because it's not only the state of Illinois that is struggling with these issues. There are many other very blue states, my state in particular, Washington State, that is also kicking around this issue and struggling with the constitutionalities of this otherwise horrific legislation. Listen, you may have more questions about what's going on in Illinois or anything else related to what's left of our Second Amendment rights. If you guys do, you should know how to contact Washington Gun Law by now, but if you don't, that's okay. That information is right there in the description box. In the meantime, I do want all of you to remember that part of being a lawful and responsible gun owner, like we talk about all the time here, is to know what the law is in every situation and how it applies to you in any instance that you may find yourself. Until next time, thanks for watching and stay safe.